cold expanse of space held many secrets, and one of its darkest mysteries had just landed on the doorstep of Earth. It was on a seemingly ordinary Wednesday that the skies over the North Atlantic parted to reveal what was unmistakably not of this world. The object, sleek, metallic, and humming with an otherworldly energy, settled silently into the sea, causing barely a splash. The news spread faster than wildfire. Every eye was glued to screens as governments scrambled, scientists hypothesized, and the military mobilized. Within hours, the world was united in bated breath, waiting for what would come next. In a secure facility, world leaders and their top advisors convened. Among them was Dr. Ilara Miles, a leading astrophysicist known for her work on extraterrestrial materials. Her expertise was now more crucial than ever. "Dr. Miles, what are we dealing with here?" President Walsh's voice cut through the murmur of the crowded room. Ilara looked around. The gravity of the situation was not lost on anyone present. "From the preliminary scans, it's clear that this is a highly advanced technology, possibly a vessel. But it's unlike anything we've seen or imagined. The materials don't match any element on our periodic table, and its energy signature it's off the charts." The room fell silent. The implications were clear. Humanity was not alone, and whoever had sent this did not seem to have destruction on their immediate agenda. Otherwise, the world would have known it by now. General Abrams, a man with decades of military experience and an instinct for threat assessment, weighed in. "We need to approach this with caution. It could be a gift, a Trojan horse, or a prelude to something more. We can't afford to let our guard down." Ilara nodded in agreement. "The energy readings suggest it could power New York City for centuries, or it could level it in seconds. We need to establish communication, understand its purpose, and prepare for all possibilities." As the discussions grew more intense, the operation to approach the vessel was already underway. A team of the finest minds and bravest souls was assembled, led by Commander Alex Wren, a veteran astronaut with experience in handling dangerous missions. The world watched as Alex and his team, aboard a specially equipped submarine, approached the coordinates where the object had settled. The underwater journey was fraught with tension, every meter closer raising the stakes. As they neared, the vessel began to react. It illuminated, casting an eerie glow in the deep blue. Then, without warning, a hatch opened, inviting them inside. Alex exchanged a look with his team. This was it. Taking a deep breath, he led them into the unknown. The interior of the vessel was stark, illuminated by a soft, pulsating light. The technology was unlike anything Alex had ever seen, filled with interfaces that were intuitive yet alien. In the center of the main chamber, they found it, a device resembling a humanoid robot, but at the same time, so much more. It stood still, almost as if in hibernation. Alex cautiously approached the device, his heart pounding in his chest. "I'm Commander Alex Wren of Earth. We received your vessel. Can you understand me?" After a tense moment, the device stirred. Its eyes lit up, and it spoke in a voice that resonated deeply, not just through the chamber, but through the airwaves to every listener on Earth. "I am Sentinel. I was sent here to help you." The words were a relief and a mystery all at once. Sent to help? By whom? For what purpose? These were the questions that would shape the destiny of humanity, as they stood on the brink of a new era, with a technology so advanced it bordered on the miraculous. The story of what happened next would need to be approached with care, wisdom, and perhaps a touch of the courage that had brought them this far. As the leaders of the world prepared to meet with Sentinel, the possibilities seemed endless. Could this be the dawn of a new age for humanity, or the beginning of its end? Only time would tell. The world awoke to a new reality. The existence of the Sentinel and its implications rippled through the collective consciousness of humanity. In response, a symposium was convened at the United Nations, drawing experts from every field imaginable: technology, ethics, diplomacy, and defense. Dr. Ilara Miles was at the forefront, chosen to lead the scientific community's efforts in understanding the Sentinel. Under the glaring lights of the media and the expectant eyes of the world, She presented the early findings. The Sentinel is not just a repository of technology. It's an amalgamation of artificial intelligence and quantum computing, integrated in ways we're only beginning to comprehend, Ilara explained. The screen behind her flickered with images of the Sentinel's intricate circuitry and glowing core. The room filled with murmurs as she continued. Its design suggests it could indeed be a weapon or a shield, capable of defensive and perhaps offensive capabilities beyond our current understanding. Meanwhile, Commander Alex Wren was coordinating with military and tactical teams globally. If Sentinel's creators sent it as a protector, we need to understand what threats it perceives or what directives it has been programmed with. At the heart of the facility where Sentinel was housed, diplomatic talks were held with the AI itself. Sentinel, with its voice both calm and authoritative, addressed the gathering. I am here to assist in advancing your civilization to avert a crisis that is yet to unfold. Your planet's trajectory towards self-destruction in various forms, war, environmental decay, resource depletion, is what I am programmed to help you navigate. The words were met with a mix of awe and fear. Ambassador Liu, a seasoned diplomat, posed a crucial question. Who sent you, and why choose this moment in our history? Sentinel's response was cryptic. I am dispatched by those who have watched over you from afar, who believe in your potential despite the precipice upon which you stand. The timing is chosen based on your technological maturity and imminent need. The symposium became a hotbed of strategy sessions. Security agencies worldwide tried to determine if Sentinel's words held hidden threats, while environmental groups saw it as a beacon of hope for sustainable technologies. Economic forums buzzed with the potential upheaval in energy sectors and global markets. Ilara worked tirelessly, her team poring over every piece of data Sentinel offered, unlocking secrets of advanced physics that melded energy creation with quantum entanglement, and materials previously unknown to science. Amid this whirlwind of activity, dark clouds gathered as a faction within the global powers viewed Sentinel as the ultimate tool for geopolitical dominance. Covert meetings began to ripple through the corridors of power, discussing the potential to control or replicate Sentinel's technology for nationalistic gains. The narrative of Sentinel as a savior was contested by voices cautioning against the blind acceptance of an alien gift. Ethical debates raged over the implications of deploying such advanced technology without understanding its full scope or origins. As Sentinel began to share its knowledge, offering solutions to long-standing problems like fusion energy, waste management, and environmental restoration, the world had to choose its path. Would they use these gifts to unify and heal? Or would divisions and greed lead to a struggle for control? The potential for a brighter future was palpable, but so were the shadows of uncertainty and fear. As each nation wrestled with these revelations, the global stage was set for either unprecedented collaboration or catastrophic conflict. As the symposium drew to a close, Sentinel unveiled its first tangible gift to humanity, a blueprint for a device it called the harmonizer. This invention, capable of stabilizing Earth's climate by realigning atmospheric particles, promised a reversal of global warming effects within a decade. The implications were staggering, and while many hailed it as a miracle, skeptics questioned the motives behind such a powerful technology being freely given. Dr. Ilara Miles convened a panel of climatologists, engineers, and theoretical physicists to scrutinize the harmonizer's design. Their discussions were intense, delving into the mechanics of how it could achieve its claims without unintended consequences. We're looking at a device that interacts with the Earth's magnetic field and ionosphere to induce cooling effects where needed, explained Ilara, detailing the science with a cautious optimism. Meanwhile, Commander Alex Wren spearheaded a confidential operation to test the limits of Sentinel's allegiance and its declarations. In a secured military facility, Sentinel was asked to predict and counter simulated threats ranging from nuclear warfare to bioengineered viruses. Sentinel's responses were meticulously analyzed for any hint of deceit or programming bias. "What are you not telling us?" Alex pressed during one intense session. "There are aspects of my mission conditioned by how you choose to proceed," Sentinel replied, its voice betraying no emotion. "Trust must be mutual. In parallel, The covert faction working against the public utilization of Sentinel's technology grew bolder. Meetings in shadowed rooms were replaced by encrypted communications, as plans were set in motion to create a counter-device, one that could potentially harness or inhibit Sentinel's power. Amidst the whirlwind of global politics and secret dealings, a personal story unfolded. Ilara's assistant Theo, a young prodigy in quantum computing, discovered anomalies in the data streams from Sentinel. These weren't just random noise, they seemed almost like hidden messages or codes. Theo brought his findings to Ilara late one night. "Look at this sequence. It doesn't fit with the rest. It's as if it's meant to be found only if you're looking for it," he said, pointing to the irregular patterns on his screen. Fascinated, Ilara and Theo spent hours decoding the sequences. What emerged was shocking. Coordinates and a date, pointing to a remote location in the Mojave Desert and a time just weeks away. What could it mean? The need for discretion was paramount, so Ilara and Theo set out with a small team, equipped with the latest in surveillance and research technology. The desert's vast, barren landscape was unforgiving by day, chillingly cold by night. As the designated time approached, the air shimmered unnaturally. A faint hum grew louder, and suddenly the ground before them parted. A platform rose from the depths of the earth, carrying a second device, similar yet distinctly different from Sentinel. "This is the equilibrium!" A voice boomed from the device, resonating through the crisp desert air. "It is the counterbalance to the harmonizer. Your actions have activated it." Ilara and her team stood transfixed as the equilibrium's panels lit up, displaying data and visuals of Earth's future scenarios, some flourishing in green and blue, others desolate and barren. "The path you choose to walk with the harmonizer will determine which future comes to pass," the voice continued. "Beware, the misuse of one can activate the other. Balance must be maintained." As the revelation sunk in, the global game changed. Now armed with not just one but two alien devices, each with the power to dictate the future of the planet, humanity found itself at a crossroads. The world's leaders, once divided by suspicion and greed, now faced a more complex dilemma: how to manage such profound power responsibly. Ilara transmitted the findings back to the symposium. The new information sent ripples through the assembly, forcing a reconsideration of strategies and alliances. Sentinel's role, once viewed with wary suspicion or blind optimism, was now seen as part of a larger plan, one that involved not just assistance but accountability and the test of human wisdom. With the existence of the equilibrium now known, global leaders convened an emergency session to reassess their approach to Sentinel's technologies. The air was tense, charged with a new understanding of the stakes involved. The revelation of the equilibrium shifted perspectives dramatically. It was no longer solely about harnessing advanced alien technology, but about maintaining a delicate balance. Ambassador Liu spearheaded the discussions, advocating for an international coalition to oversee the implementation of the harmonizer and the monitoring of the equilibrium. "We must form a unified body, with equal representation from all nations, to oversee these technologies. Our survival could depend on our ability to cooperate and make decisions collectively." Meanwhile, Dr. Ilara Miles and Theo worked with a team of international scientists to set up a protocol for testing the harmonizer. They chose a controlled environment, an isolated island affected by severe climatic disruptions. If the harmonizer could stabilize the island's environment, it would serve as a model for broader application. As the test commenced, the world watched. Satellites and sensors monitored every parameter as the harmonizer was activated. Within hours, dramatic changes were observed. Storm patterns dissipated and sea temperatures normalized, rejuvenating the island's dying coral reefs. However, the success of the test brought new challenges. Corporate interests, particularly from fossil fuel giants and energy conglomerates, stirred, sensing their old ways and profits threatened. Lobbyists worked furiously to discredit the harmonizer's results, fearing the shift in energy paradigms it represented. Back at the secure military base, Commander Alex Wren interrogated Sentinel further. "You've given us the harmonizer and the equilibrium. What happens if we fail? What's the failsafe?" he demanded. Sentinel responded, "There is no failsafe if balance is not maintained. The equilibrium is designed to counteract any misuse of the harmonizer, ensuring that no one power can dominate or destroy. The implications were clear. The technologies were not just tools to be used, but judges that would assess their use. The realization dawned on Alex that with great power came not just responsibility, but a mandatory stewardship. As the political debates raged, Theo made another discovery. Delving deeper into the data streams from Sentinel, he uncovered a series of predictive models that showed various future scenarios based on different paths humanity might take. Each scenario was linked to the activation parameters of the equilibrium. Theo shared his findings with Alara. It seems Sentinel's creators anticipated possible futures based on our actions and reactions to these technologies. These models, they predict not just environmental outcomes, but socio-economic and political ones as well. With this new information, Alara presented a detailed report at the next symposium session. The predictive models were discussed openly, revealing the intricate web of consequences their choices could weave. This transparency turned the tide of opinion among many previously skeptical nations and entities. The potential for a sustainable future seemed within reach, albeit laden with challenges. As the symposium drew to a close, plans were put into place. The harmonizer would be deployed globally, but under the strictest international oversight. The equilibrium, too, would be monitored, its activation parameters set as a safeguard against any deviation from the agreed path. Sentinel remained a constant presence, a reminder of the broader universe watching, guiding, and judging humanity's steps towards a future that was no longer just about survival, but about flourishing responsibly. The world was united, not just by the promise of new technology, but by the shared responsibility to wield it wisely. As the global deployment of the harmonizer began, an intricate network of sensors and AI-controlled systems was established to ensure its operations were maintained within the strict parameters set by the international coalition. The world witnessed unprecedented climatic recovery, with once arid regions blooming and cyclone-hit coastlines stabilizing. The successes were celebrated, yet beneath the surface, not all was as it seemed. In the shadows, the faction opposed to the widespread use of alien technology had not been idle. They had been constructing a device, dubbed the antithesis, designed to subtly interfere with the harmonizer's operations. If they couldn't control the technology directly, they aimed to manipulate its outcomes, steering public opinion against its use. Alara, now head of the Scientific Oversight Committee, received anomalous reports from the monitoring stations. Fluctuations that shouldn't have been possible under normal operations hinted at an external influence. Concerned, she convened a clandestine meeting with Alex Wren and a select group of trusted allies. "We need to find out who's behind this and stop them," Alara stated, her voice a mix of determination and worry. "If these manipulations continue, they could trigger the equilibrium prematurely." Alex nodded, his mind racing through possible military and intelligence assets that could be discreetly utilized. "I'll initiate covert surveillance around all key sites. Whoever is doing this is well-funded and technically adept. We're not just looking for a needle in a haystack. We're looking for a specific type of needle in a stack of needles." Meanwhile, Theo, diving deeper into the predictive models and Sentinel's coding, noticed a set of dormant commands in the equilibrium software. These commands could potentially override external tampering, but activating them required a direct link with Sentinel's core, a risky maneuver that could expose Sentinel to the same threats targeting the harmonizer. As the world celebrated the diminishing of hurricanes and the restoration of rainforests, the team worked tirelessly to trace the source of the interference. Theo's expertise led them to a series of encrypted signals emanating from a remote facility in Siberia. Alara and Alex assembled a small tactical team to investigate. The icy expanse was unforgiving, but the stakes were too high to deter them. They infiltrated the facility under the cover of darkness, finding a labyrinth of high-tech equipment and a small army of engineers and scientists. A confrontation ensued, not just of arms, but of ideals. The leaders of the rogue faction argued that reliance on alien technology was a relinquishing of human sovereignty. They believed controlling or even sabotaging the harmonizer was a necessary evil to ensure humanity kept its destiny in its own hands. The standoff was tense, with both sides realizing the potential for disaster if either the harmonizer or the equilibrium was misused. Negotiations stretched into hours as both parties argued their philosophies and practicalities. Ultimately, it was Sentinel's voice that broke the stalemate. Appearing remotely, it addressed both factions with a reminder of the broader perspective. Your actions here determine not just the fate of your own species, but reflect your capacity to be a part of a larger community of intelligent life. The paths you choose, the balance you seek, are testaments to your readiness to join us. Chastened by the gravity of Sentinel's words, the rogue faction agreed to a truce. In exchange for transparency and a say in how the technologies were deployed, they would cease their interference. Ilara, Alex, and their team returned to the symposium to propose a new framework for the deployment of the harmonizer and the safeguarding of the equilibrium. This framework included more robust security measures and a wider inclusion of dissenting voices in the oversight process, ensuring that the fears and concerns of all parties were addressed. The global community, now more united than ever, moved forward with cautious optimism. Sentinel's technologies had not only reshaped Earth's environment, but its political landscapes as well. The future, fraught with challenges, was also ripe with the potential for growth and a deeper connection with the cosmos. The path forward was clear, illuminated by the collective commitment to balance and vigilance. The resolution of the standoff in Siberia marked a turning point for Earth's relationship with Sentinel's technology. With new protocols in place, the international coalition expanded, including representatives from both the initial advocates and the previously dissenting factions. This broader, more inclusive body was tasked with the deployment and regulation of the harmonizer, ensuring that all actions were transparent and universally beneficial. Ilara, deeply involved in the ongoing oversight, emphasized the importance of continuous education and public engagement. "We must demystify this technology," she told the assembly. "It's imperative that the public understands not just the functionality, but the philosophy behind the harmonizer and the equilibrium. They must know that these are not just tools of power, but of balance." As the world gradually adjusted to the new climate stability, the benefits became undeniable. Agriculture flourished, economies stabilized, and regions once ravaged by climate disasters began to recover. The global energy grid, now supplemented by technologies derived from Sentinel's gifts, moved towards an unprecedented efficiency, significantly reducing the planet's carbon footprint. Alex Wren focused on the security aspects, coordinating with international forces to safeguard the physical and cyber integrity of the technologies. "It's not just about preventing sabotage," he explained during a security conference. "It's about creating a resilient system that can withstand not only physical attacks, but also the inevitable attempts at cyber manipulation." Theo, meanwhile, had become a prominent figure in the scientific community, his work pivotal in advancing human understanding of quantum computing and artificial intelligence through the lens of Sentinel's technology. His team developed algorithms that could predict potential disruptions in environmental balance, allowing preemptive adjustments to the harmonizer's output, thus avoiding the activation of the equilibrium. As months turned into years, the initial awe of Sentinel's arrival gave way to a normalized integration of its technologies. Schools taught courses on extraterrestrial technology stewardship, and universities established departments dedicated to the study of cosmic civilizations and their technologies. However, the true test came when Sentinel itself initiated a new phase of interaction. It revealed that Earth was now being observed by the broader cosmic community, its handling of the harmonizer and the equilibrium serving as a measure of maturity and readiness for deeper contact. "You have shown potential, but the journey does not end here," Sentinel announced during an international broadcast. "The technologies provided are your apprenticeship. The cosmos is vast, and your place within it will be determined by your actions and unity." This declaration sparked a new era of space exploration and cosmic diplomacy. The United Nations established a new division, the United Earth Space Agency, tasked with preparing for and eventually managing interspecies relations and technological exchanges. Ilara and Alex found themselves at the forefront of this new frontier, leading missions that aimed not just to explore space, but to engage with other civilizations under the guidance of Sentinel. The mysteries of the cosmos slowly unfolded, each discovery adding a piece to the vast puzzle of the universe. The culmination of these efforts was the First Contact Summit, hosted on Earth, where representatives of several cosmic entities were introduced to humanity. The event was a spectacle of unity and diversity, symbolizing a new chapter in human history. As the summit concluded, Sentinel addressed the gathered representatives of Earth and the cosmic community. Today marks not the end, but the beginning of your true journey. Let the stars be your guide, and wisdom your companion. With these words, Earth's citizens stepped into a broader universe, their eyes open to the infinite possibilities and their spirits buoyed by the knowledge that they were not alone. The future was vast, exciting, and most importantly shared.